Welcome to section 5.5. This is the 40-second session of the CISSP exam prep series. In this session, we'll set a secure starting line for your systems. We'll answer several questions. What is a security baseline? How do impact levels shape the controls you pick? What is tailoring? What is scoping? And why must you still honor external standards? Why does this matter beyond the exam? Because building security from a blank page for every system is a recipe for gaps. A baseline gives you a trustworthy floor to stand on. Picture rolling out 100 new laptops, each hardened by hand, and each slightly different. One forgotten setting becomes the crack an attacker slips through. Baselines make secure the default, not the exception you hope someone remembered. So what is a security baseline? It is an agreed minimum set of controls that every in-scope system must meet. It gives you a consistent, secure starting point instead of improvising each time. A common way to enforce one is imaging. You harden a single machine, capture it as a template, and stamp that same secure image onto every new device. Automated checks then run in the background and quietly reapply any setting that drifts out of line. Think of it as a factory-approved blueprint that every unit rolls off matching. How do impact levels shape the controls you pick? By matching the strength of protection to what is at stake. A widely used framework sorts systems into low, moderate, and high impact, based on the harm a compromise would cause. Low impact gets a lighter baseline, while high impact stacks on much stronger controls. There is also a dedicated privacy baseline for any system handling personal data, which you layer on top of the others. And the levels build upward, so a high impact system inherits everything below it plus its own additions. Rate the system honestly, then let that rating drive the baseline. What is tailoring? It is adjusting the baseline so it truly fits your organization. A generic set of controls almost never lands perfectly on day one. Think of buying a suit off the rack, then having it altered to fit your exact frame. Tailoring works the same way, tuning control values, adding what the baseline missed, and swapping in compensating controls where the standard option will not work. For example, you might tighten a lockout policy from 5 failed attempts down to 3. The baseline is the starting cloth, and tailoring is the fitting. What is scoping, and how does it fit in? Scoping is the trimming step inside tailoring. Here you walk through the baseline and keep only the controls that actually apply to the system in front of you. If a control guards against something your system simply cannot do, you remove it. Say a machine never allows 2 people to sign in at the same time. A control policing simultaneous sessions is pointless, so you scope it out. But every removal must be justified in writing, so no control quietly vanishes without a reason. Why must you still honor external standards? Because some requirements are not yours to negotiate away. Outside rules can impose mandatory controls no matter what your own baseline says. Handle payment cards. And the payment card industry standard sets terms you must follow. Process the personal data of people in certain regions, and their privacy law binds you too. Not every rule applies to every organization, so your first job is to identify which ones govern you. Then make sure your tailored baseline fully satisfies each of them. So let's bring it together. A security baseline is your minimum secure starting point, often enforced through imaging. Impact levels set how heavy that baseline should be, with a separate layer for privacy. Tailoring shapes the baseline to fit your organization, and scoping trims out the controls that do not apply. Above all of it sit external standards you have no choice but to meet. Start from a strong baseline, fit it carefully, and secure becomes your default state. The MCQs covering all the topics and concepts from this session are available on RooCloud.com. Practice the chapter-specific MCQs before moving on to the next session. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or feedback, post a comment below or email us. I will see you in the next session.